and at that moment I reach for the sidearm in my pocket. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a dart whiz past my face. Wah-wah! Hey, no fair! My assailant, none other than Yuri with her dual revolvers, has begun charging me. Surprise! Firing off a shot at her, I roll sideways toward my larger gun. I was sure outplayed there. Well, I wasn't going to shoot you when you were genuinely worried about your friend. Oh, how considerate of you. The sarcasm dripping from my voice, I finally reach my gun. Yuri's now practically on top of me, both guns bearing down with only a few meters of me. I grab the heavy gun, turn it on, and aim it in her direction, firing off a volley. The rapid fire causes Yuri to leap backward, flipping behind the couch. Man, not only does she look badass with the guns, but she acts it too. Looks and style can only get you so far in a fight, though. At the end of the day, fire kills. With that in mind, I break cover, intent on pressing my advantage. Mounting the couch like the Marines cresting Suribachi, I purposely raise my gun over the parapet of its back. The sights triumphantly settling on a huddled mass of purple. Say goodnight, Gracie. And I squeeze the trigger. All except nothing exit the weapon but the pathetic whirring noise of a stoppage. Of all the stinging. Yuri's look of resignation transforms into a sly grin. Good night, Gracie. She brings her 6-shooter to bear. Just as I'm about to stare down the barrel of her weapon and look Destiny in the face. 2 birds with 1 stone! A volley of darts whizzed through the gap between Yuri and I, causing both of us to startle and dodge aside. Praise to the soon. I scramble for safety behind the armchair, frantically doing what I can to clear the sham. Yuri, evidently dismissing me and my disabled weapon as a threat, focuses on the tackling of the clear and present danger. A rampaging candy floss commando, hellbent on maximum carnage. The battle spills out of the living room in short order. Against all reason, I stop and gawk in awe at the sight of them going at it amidst the battleground of the living room. Weaving and bobbing, adroitly taking advantage of cover as they close the distance. Losing pot shots at one another every opportunity that presents. 60 seconds of old-school John Woo. Even Sarah can't help but pull a Lazarus and take a peek, so incredible is the sight. It's a close run thing, but the issue is decided at long last. Yuri blunders, hiding behind a rack of shelves that isn't big enough to shield her. That rack isn't going to help you any, Yuri. From a perfectly executed Mozambique drill from Natsuki. Oh, dash it all. Much to Natsuki's and my disbelief and amusement, Yuri pauses to smear herself with ketchup before dropping her gun and clutching her chest.
That's gonna stain, you know.
Gasping out some famous last words as she does so. Now ends the mystery. And with that, she dramatically collapses to the floor like a dying swan, then lies still. Natsuki sidles over to her fallen opponent, blowing imaginary smoke from the muzzle of her gun. Oh, we're good, kid. Real good. But at the end of at the end of the day, you'll always be second best, see? Because absolutely nobody beats me in the kitchen. Those gimlet eyes of passion pink then snap around to fix me with a look of a savage appetite. That's the hors d'oeuvres done.
The hors d'oeuvres. I can pronounce words.
Now for the main course. And I belatedly remembered that I was supposed to be clearing the stoppage. That's the stoppage cleared, thank God. Careful what you wish for, Captain Cupcake. You might just find yourself biting off more than you can chew. The dance macabre begins anew. Fancy footwork, dips, and pirouettes. I've never had a worthier partner, nor a more frustrating foe. Quick of reflex and swell of silhouette, she makes a difficult target. It's like trying to hit a dragonfly with a 12 gauge. But at the end of the day, you know what they say. A good biggin will always beat a good lillin. Or so I think. For now, I've got her at bay. She's holed up near the far end of the dining table, crouched low, just out of sight. I scribble the word surrender in chocolate sauce on one of the many wandering pieces of paper, folded into an aeroplane and wafted her way. Back comes the aeroplane several seconds later, a reply scrawled on its fuselage in mustard. Nuts! Okay, smartass, you asked for it. One climactic burst of suppressing fire, and I'm finally on her. Caught in the midst of reloading, she looks up at me, her expression deadpan. I take a moment to gloat. I know what you're thinking. Did she fire 15 shots total, or just 14? Truth is, I sort of lost count in all this excitement. But being that this is the most powerful weapon of its class, and would blow your... No kidding on losing count, schmuck. Come again. She's right. There's nothing left on the belt. Natsuki's finished reloading, and she's looking more bloodthirsty than ever. It just isn't your thing, is it, Inspector? No shit. Run, little Miss MC, run. And run I do, tearing up the stairs like all the devils in the world are at my heels. Heart pounding, lungs bursting, I make a beeline for the likeliest port in this storm. The spare bedroom with its spacious walk-in closet, where she and I used to play at interdimensional travel as kids. Dashing straight into the wardrobe, I slam the door behind me and sink to the floor in a sweaty heap, catching my breath. Only to discover as my vision adjusts to the extremely dim light streaming in through the door louve that I'm not alone. Desperation loves company, it would seem, or is it right minds thinking alike? Either way, you're a sight for sore eyes. Monica, what are you doing in here? She hangs her head ruefully. Dropped my primary during the initial havoc. Didn't take long for me to undo my secondary as well. Clearly I'm no expert at this. And now here I am, completely defenseless, with nothing but this closet for shelter. Outside I can hear the ominous pad of purposeful footsteps. This closet, in which I'm going to meet my end. I clasp my hand over Monica's shoulder reassuringly. Don't put yourself down. You made it this far, and that's amazing for a neophyte. The end may be nigh, but rest assured you won't have to face it alone. Monica gazes gratefully at me, flashing me a bittersweet smile. Just as she's about to open her mouth and reply, "Here's Natsuki!" What happens next is a blur. The doors of the closet fly open. From where we're crouching on the floor, what stands in the frame looks like a giant, a gun-toting, pastel-hued giant clad in what appears to be Sayori's old hockey mask. Her eyes blazing with unholy light. Monica screams, the piteous noise arousing all my protective instincts. Without a second thought, I hurled myself between her and our executioner, with predictable results. Down I go, a suction cup dart stuck to the middle of my forehead. Such heroic nonsense! Far less predictable, though, is how it all ends. The heck? Natsuki suddenly finds herself sporting precisely the same head accessory as I do. A suction cup dart landed smack dab above her right eyebrow. A suction cup dart fired from none other than... You. You told me you were out. Helpless. Defenseless. I took that shot Natsuki meant for you, based on that faulty knowledge. Monica smiles coyly, twirling her pistol around her trigger finger before holstering it in her waistband. Sorry, MC, but sometimes a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. I'll play out wit and outlast. I won't deny it, though. It's nice seeing that chivalry's not dead. So here's a little something for your job. She's got me there. There's nothing in the rules prohibiting her from doing that. But it isn't so much her explanation that stifles my further protests, than it is the contact of her lips against my still stinging forehead, imparting a soothing effect that completely outweighs the fleetingness of their touch. All my indignation dispelled just like that. Part of Natsuki clearly wants to laugh her head off at how I've been hoodwinked, but she can't sufficiently get over something else in order to do so. All that skill, all that know-how, all that firepower, all that positional advantage. Everything under my belt I had going for me. And I lose to someone cowering in a closet with a dinky sidearm in their human shield. That's just how the cookie crumbles, Natsuki. All's fair in love and war. Damn it! As we reluctantly crown Monica the winner, descend the stairs and call for Yuri and Sayori to join us, I can't help but boggle at how we've underestimated our president. How strategically she has outmaneuvered us. She may not have been the strongest player, but she used what she had to her advantage. All done so cunningly that you could stick a tail on her plan and call it a fox. It was a battle for the ages, the likes of which the world might never see again. And at the end of it all, when the dust settles, who's left standing? Just Monica. That Mon, with her maddening smile and even more maddening charm, continuing to surprise me at each and every turn. After the shootout ends, we all return back to the living room in one piece. Yuri's now returned from the bathroom, it seems, while the rest of us waited patiently. I never thought I'd enjoy myself so much. Same. It's definitely the most fun I've had in ages. So glad you're having a great time. I'm sure it'll get even better now that Smiley's turn to choosing the buns. Ah, ball's in my court now, hey? Sure is. Better pick something good. My selection is going to be a tough act to follow. All right, then what about Truth or Dare? Ooh, spicy! Natsuki's bravado disappears like water down a drain. Don't worry, Natsuki. I'm sure everyone's going to be tactful. I think this could be an interesting exercise, as long as we all respect boundaries. Natsuki doesn't look entirely convinced, but she doesn't protest either. But of course, Yuri, boundaries are always important. Shall we make ourselves comfortable? Is it just me, or does Monica look a little pensive in spite of her going with the flow?
Yeah, 1 second. Had to fix my headset a little bit.
Probably just me. Everyone else is concurring with her and settling around the coffee table. Well, everyone except Natsuki, who seems bent on making herself as inconspicuous as possible. I think it's only fair that the MC begins. Sure. Both clockwise in a circle. Sounds perfectly amenable. So, truth or dare, Monica? Monica hesitates. Nope, I wasn't wrong after all. There's that pensive look, and it's intensifying. When I'm on the verge of asking her if everything is okay, her mouth sits in a determined line and she makes her choice. Truth. Not sure I was expecting that, but okay. All right then. What's one thing you wish others knew about you? That being the popular girl at school, the scion of a wealthy family, isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Silence reigns. I was expecting her to say something like, I wish people would stop putting love confessions in my locker or something. Now it just feels like we're holding an intervention or something. Monica takes a long breath as if she's about to say more, but more doesn't come. She seems to be a little better than before, though, like this has been the first step to relieving herself of a considerable burden. And I think that's absolutely worthy of praise. That took courage. I absolutely agree. You do so much for everybody, meeting deadlines, targets, expectations. I don't think you get half the credit you deserve. We'll be sure to make up for that deficit, won't we? Totally. We love you, Monica. And if you're in difficulty of any kind, just know you can always come to any of us, just like how we can always rely on you. Natsuki doesn't say anything, but holds Monica's hand and pats it reassuringly. Monica lets out an almost awkward-sounding chuckle. You're the best, you know that. All of you are. What would I ever do without you? Hey, no sweat, Monica. We've got you. The stagnant air steadily clears, and Monica does the same for her throat. So, moving on. Truth or dare, Yuri? She bats her eyelashes at Yuri as she does so. I can't help but chuckle. That winsome charm of hers is back. Dare. She shuffles apprehensively in her seat. It's okay. Like I said, I won't push boundaries. So if this is too much, tell me, okay? That seems to do the trick as Yuri's tensed hands relax a touch. So, why don't you show us your secret talent, Yuri? Yuri goes a little pale. Sure. Yuri fetches her bag from beside her, rummaging through it. Out of it, she draws an elegant box, which she opens like a dark tome of arcane mysteries to reveal tarot cards. Yes, I do readings, mostly for myself, to help guide me through particularly difficult situations. You'll be surprised what power these 78 sigils hold. How much they can reveal about a person or a circumstance. All of us marvel at the beautifully illustrated cards. All their eldritch imagery, all vampires, werewolves, gothic architecture, and benighted dreamscapes. So full of hidden meaning and sinister symbolism. Truly are you a lady of talent and taste, Yuri. You're too kind. I'm no expert diviner, mind you, but I know enough to interpret what the cards symbolize and apply the meanings to the matter at hand. How about you surprise us then, Yuri? I misclicked. Oopsies. Let's see what your deck has to say about each of us in turn. Are you absolutely sure? Its truths can be hard to swallow sometimes. I don't want to embarrass anybody. Oh, we're among friends, aren't we? We won't judge each other, right? Last thing I'd ever do is do as those I care about. Indubitably. Not going to lie, I'm very curious to see what the cards say about me. Same. You know, they might just end up cutting straight to the truths and help all of us avoid performing stupid dares. That's one way of looking at it. You okay there, Nat? You've been pretty quiet thus far. Natsuki attempts a smirk, although it's not as jaunty or confident a smirk as what she normally pulls off. No harm trying. No skin off my nose. Like a stack of cardboard's going to be able to read my mind. All right then, here goes. Yuri's hands deftly flutter, shuffling the cards with the expertise of a professional croupier. Once, twice, thrice she does this, before spreading them out in a near-perfect semicircle. Pick a card, any card. I reach forward, draw one from the spread and flip it over. What? I think I might have been wrong about this tarot business after all. Because that card definitely suits Melanie. Oh, come on, Nod. Don't be a meanie. Appearances can be deceptive, MC. The Fool is actually one of the tarot's most positive cards. It symbolizes a carefree, spontaneous spirit, a mind that is both open and curious. Somebody on the brink of a momentous journey that promises much opportunity and potential. If you put it that way, I suppose it sort of does apply to me. I took a leap of faith and joined this club pretty much on a whim, keeping an open mind. And look where that's gotten me now. It's been quite the ride, full of amazing discoveries. We're all the better for your membership, MC. Totally. I prefer the on-the-face-of-it interpretation, but whatever. My turn! Sarah reaches over and draws. What's this mean? Yuri smiles. The Six of Cups indicates a strong connection with your inner child.
Hey, just be glad it wasn't the Hanged Man.
You love revisiting happy memories from the past, reconnecting with old friends and reminiscing about fun times you shared. And you always give people the benefit of the doubt, rarely if ever expecting anything in return. That sounds exactly like me. Down to a T. You know, the bit about reconnecting with old friends is especially relevant since I joined the club. It is, isn't it? And I don't want to be shared over in Melody. It won't, not by a long shot. We relish the fun moment for a bit before letting Monica have her turn. What do we have here? Wouldn't have expected anything else. The Queen of Wands, a social butterfly, passionate and enthusiastic, a mover and shaker. Someone who's determined to make a difference, natural-born, inspirational leader, full of energy and charm. That's our Monica! Monica blushes. These cards sure know how to flatter a girl. No flattery, only truth. Yuri abruptly becomes very serious. There is one aspect of the Queen of Wands that often goes overlooked, mind you. Oh, while bold and outgoing, she is also in touch with her inner self, the lesser-known aspects of her being that people aren't aware of. Don't be afraid to show this shadow side of yourself, Monica. Doing so is healthy. It will help you connect with others on a deeper level. This harkens back to the truth Monica told earlier during her turn, along with whatever else she might have gone unsaid. Once again, she looks a tad reflective, but only for a few seconds. I'll definitely keep that in mind, Yuri. Thank you for your advice. With that, Yuri segues back into her usual demure self. Not a worry. I'm always glad to be of help.